I want to become a master at fine woodworking. Right now, I'm a hobbyist in Sweden and I'm working out of a barn. My name is Linus and I've had pretty much a lifelong interest in woodworking and making things. But it's really only in recent years that I've actually put any time into it. Realistically, the skill level I want to get to is a very long-term goal, and I have a lot to learn in order to get there. Hopefully that should be relatable to at least some of you, so if you're interested in that, please hit subscribe and follow along with me. I want the videos to stay focused and self-contained. I have no intention of making this another generic tool review channel. I want to build a lot of furniture, and I prefer a hybrid approach where I use both hand tools and powered machinery. We also live in rural Sweden and we spend a lot of time outdoors, so expect to see some garden woodworking mixed in, depending on the season. Also, bear with me on the upload schedule, or I should say lack thereof. I do have a full-time job and we're just about to have our second kid. This is a creative hobby I have as a way to prevent burnout. I don't want it to be the cause of it. Oh, if you stick with me this far, thank you. Now, let's get back to the video I filmed a couple of days ago. Too wide. Hello, I'm Linus and welcome to my barn woodshop. So it's finally getting to be springtime here in Sweden. I think we had our last frost the other day, so it's about time to move out here. I have a lot of stuff to move from my little room in the basement. I have some projects I want to do that needs a lot of open space over there. I'm gonna rotate this 90 degrees and then we can start bringing stuff over here. Behold my stuff. Anyways, yeah, that's some stuff brought over, and I'm not gonna have place for all of it today, but over time we're gonna make something where everything has its home. And I did also bring this wall cabinet with me. Now, it's been a little sparse on the videos recently from my end, and it's not for lack of not wanting to make videos, it's really that I haven't done any woodworking. So with no projects to film, there are no videos, really. Now, there's multiple reasons for that, but mostly it's just me not making enough time. So I apologize for that if you've been following my channels and wondering where I've been. Now, I have a bit of a tool wall here, so that's, I guess, where we'll start with the tour of this barn. And this is something that I'm gonna get rid of eventually, or redo entirely. Since I'm in an uninsulated barn, this is very open to the elements. And as you can see above me, that's daylight poking through. During last fall, I built this Dutch tool chest, and it holds most of my hand tools. And behind me here is the miter station. It is half finished. Got a construction grade miter saw here. Eventually might be replaced with something more precise. I've started making some shelves on this side, and I was gonna repeat that on this side too, but I just never got around to it, and now it's been 2 years or something since I built this thing, and we'll see what we do about that. Some of my battery tools here, and got my power charging station here. And yes, it's pretty full of crap and disorganized. Now, I did take some time over the past couple of weeks to spring clean the barn here, so most of the mess is gone, but it's still pretty disorganized, so hopefully you should get a hold of that soon. And underneath here, there's just more disorganization. I would like to make some enclosed cabinets eventually, but for now, this will have to do. Now if I just get this trash can out of the way. That trash can is for scrap wood, by the way, but yes. So I found this old, balance. So I found, this is a barn find. It was in the barn when we moved here. It's pretty useful for keeping some clutter away. Doesn't stop clutter from accumulating next to it though. And over here is my original workbench. If you've been following my channel, you would have seen that in the past 6 months or so, I built a new workbench that's in the basement woodworking station, and that one's staying there. And I have this one. It's not necessarily as good, but it works. Now, before I move these out of the way, this is a bench hook for cutting stuff. This is a shooting board for planing. It's one of my most recent videos, if you're interested in those. This is one of the first woodworking projects I did when we moved here. It's made from spruce planks that was in the barn when we moved here, and I just planed them down, glued them together to make this bench top. It's 2 meters long and 80 centimeters deep, and it served me well for the 7 years I've had it. As you can see, there are some dug holes in the top and a tool tray at the back. And here at the front, we have a quick release. Vise that I've got lined with cork and some oak that I also found in the barn. The only thing I'm missing on this one is some sort of a tail vise. Another thing I brought with me from the basement that I also built very recently is my Sawbench. Now this is a bit too long for the room in the basement because that room is very tiny, so this one's probably going to stay here in the barn. So this is a split top Sawbench with an opening in the middle, and lets you just saw through a board if that's what's most convenient, or you just saw towards the end or whatever. It's a saw bench, you use it to saw wood. And this thing right here, that's just an old desktop, actually from my desk, from my boy room where I grew up. So the desk it used to be attached to doesn't exist anymore, but the top still exists, and this is some very dense particle board with a very thick layer of melamine or something on top of it, so it's very durable. It was too long to fit in the car when we transported it, so when my dad brought it here, he cut it shorter, so it used to be like another 40 or something centimeters longer, but I just cleaned it up with a track saw and added a piece of elm to just cap it off. Now, this right here is probably the most interesting piece of equipment I have. This is a Jonsered's bandsaw. So this is a cast iron saw. It weighs quite a lot. It's 2.7 meters tall and it weighs about 750 kilos. And yeah, having opened this up, you can see the wheels here are pretty massive. They are 900 millimeters, or about 35.5 inches. I currently have a 1-inch blade on it. Stamped in the frame here, we have the make and the model number. So it's a BSD9 bandsaw, and as you can see here from the serial number, it starts with a 47, so that obviously means it was made in 1943. Now the motor on this is still the original. I've replaced all the electronics. The electronics that was on the saw when I bought it was probably from the 90s, and they were due for an upgrade, especially once the contactor let this magic smoke out. But yes, the motor is a 3-phase motor. It's 2.2 kilowatts or 3 horsepower. You might consider that underpowered for something this big, but once this gets up to speed, the inertia in these massive wheels makes it run forever. If you don't engage the foot pedal brake on this, this will literally spin for minutes before it comes to a stop. At some point, I might look into getting a brake resistor or just changing to VFD or something here to have an electronic brake too, but for now, just put my entire body weight on this brake pedal and it stops in like 30 seconds. The brake is worn out quite a lot, so I need to figure out a way to get the bottom wheel off so I can replace the brake. So I found this on an auction site. This was in a boatyard that was shutting down because the owners retired. And I managed to win the auction for this one, and so including auction fees, transport, and some basic maintenance, this saw, it cost me about 10,000 kronor or $1,000, which is, I'd say, a steal for something with this capacity. And speaking of capacity, this is, with the fence in its farthest position, we have about 67 centimeters or 26.5 inches. If you want the full width, if you remove the fence entirely, we're talking about 85 centimeters or 34 inches. The table itself is 75 centimeters deep or 30 inches. The maximum resaw capacity when you're raising this all the way is to about here, which is about 37 centimeters or nearly 15 inches. There used to be a dust port here, but that was missing when I got this saw, so I manufactured my own using some plywood and hardboard and some dust hoses. And yes, I did mention the dust collector, and there it is. It's, if you're from Scandinavia, you'll know what this brand is, but basically it's like Swedish Harbor Freight. Moving along, this is my table saw. It's the cheapest model DeWalt made 7 years ago, contractor table saw. They since stopped making this many years ago. It's crap basically, but it works. Currently, I don't have a riving knife in it because the mount for the riving knife broke, so I really need to look at getting this upgraded to something better, but the ones I want are so expensive. Now, I've built this mobile thing for my table saw in plywood. It's got casters on it and some shelves around it, and it's served me well. I would like to redo this, but it works, so I'm gonna keep it like this, probably until I get a new saw. And for the dust connection, it's another one. I didn't mention this on the bandsaw, but these that I have hanging out of my tools are all magnetic connections, so I can just move the dust collector to any of my tools as I need it. Just clicks in, like so. And over here, I have my jointer and planer. Now, this is actually a jointer planer combo. I've had some issues with the planer bed. The raising and lowering mechanism is getting stuck constantly, and it's a pain to fix. So one night I made an impulse purchase and bought a lunchbox planer to complement this, so I don't have to switch it between planing and jointing. It's not an issue switching, it's just that when the planer bed can't be raised and lowered, it's kind of defeats the purpose of having the planer bed. Together with the table saw, this is actually the first two machines I bought when we moved here. So I've had this and the table saw for 7 years now. Oh yeah, and the dust collector. I've upgraded both of these to a helical cutter heads. This is a Triton lunchbox planer. Not very powerful, but it does the job if you're just mindful of the capacity limits of it. This machine right here is actually about 50% more powerful than this one, so it's a bit of a shame that the planing bed mechanism is so unreliable for me on my machine. Now this machine hasn't been without issues either. I just recently replaced the motor on this one because the rotor in the other one completely gave up. It got really bad. It was I guess it was just unbalanced, and it destroyed the bearing, which destroyed more things. And yeah, basically I just got a replacement motor and now it works again. But I need to replace the bed. What I have here right now is just particle board with melamine on it, and it didn't really survive the winter, so it swelled up a lot along the edges here. So right now the bed is shaped like a banana along the width of it. This is form ply, so it's usually decent quality plywood with a phenolic coating on it. So I'm just gonna take this out and replace it with this, cutting this to fit, making sure to seal all the edges so it doesn't swell up. And along this wall, which is to be covered with OSB at some point, it's at least covered with some house wrap. Before I added this, whenever there was wind and snow at the same time, there would be snow on the floor at least a meter in from the walls. So this is definitely necessary. My newest addition to the shop is actually this drill press. It's a very cheap Einhell model. Hopefully it's going to be good enough. There's some things where I need a drill press, but not too often, so I didn't want to spend too much money on it. I've been keeping an eye out on auction sites for old drill presses that are, at some point, I'm going to get a full-size drill press too. Another recent addition, and that's going to be very useful for one of my next projects. There's also a second channel I've started. I know this channel is tiny, but I really want the videos here to stay focused. My other channel is where I can bend my self-imposed rules a little bit. It'll still be woodworking, but more of whatever's going on in the shop that week. My most recent videos there have been about sawmilling, and whenever I get to finish replacing that planer bed, they'll probably be in a video there too. So if you're interested in more things going on here, feel free to head over there and take a look. Now, why don't we take a sneak peek on some upcoming projects for this channel? I need to build a trellis for this clematis. I need to build something nicer than this to keep the cats from pooping under our porch. Need to finish painting the railing for our porch so I can put the railing back. I need to finish this thing that I started years ago. I need to build a gate. I need to build some kind of an arch to go here. I need to mill these logs, as well as these. And with the lumber I've been milling, I'm building a timber frame duck enclosure that's going here, and a duck house that's going there. And there's also a bedside table that I promised I'd build for a family member. Now, there's a lot of gardening projects going, but that's the season right now. Thanks a lot for watching all the way through. It means a lot. Subscribe if you want to follow along with my journey, and I will see you guys in the next one.